What are your crimes, Mark? Yes, what are your crimes, Mark? Did you beat your wife? Did you kick a pup? Well, find your crimes or make it up. Did you laugh at Hubbard? That's not nice, and now you'll have to pay your price. So what are your crimes, Mark? What have you done? Oh, it's too late now. Fair game's begun.
Well, look at this. We're back for another exciting adventure here on Xenu TV. That's right. We've got something that it's a world premiere in some respects. There's a lot of footage that I'm showing tonight that hasn't been seen before. Some of it has, some of it is classic, but all of it now is in 4K. And I am terribly excited about that. I mean, every time I upgrade some of this footage, I go, wow, it never, ever, ever looked this good. When I shot it, it was standard def back then, and now it's glorious. I just want to say hi to Kelly, my mod. How are you? Do we have some folks coming in here? Let me take a look. Look at this. People are piling in. Lapita T. Oop, let me do it this way. Waving. Hello. Cats. Oops. Cat's Meow. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. Welcome to you. Miss Sunrise Dawn. Oh, I'm happy you're here. And that's a cute puppy. So, thank you all for joining me tonight. And as I was saying, I've got some footage here from a picket that was done in the year 2000. And it's not long after the Mad Picket, where you just had an army of Scientologist OTs come out to handle the protesters in front of the Fort Harrison Hotel. Same location. Very soon after the Mad Picket, but only a handful of Scientologists coming to pair up and each try to handle one of the protesters as they walked back and forth. And let's see. Somebody knew. Kenny, best councilman Clearwater ever had. Why, thanks. Be nice if he took office again, don't you think? Another election next year. I've got important stuff to get finished. Oh, I got to tell you though, it is exciting for me as I drive down Myrtle Street to see that they're building the new city hall that we voted in. And after, years and years of people dawdling on the project with $30 million sitting there that's earmarked for it, could only be spent on that. And we finally said, well, let's do it for God's sakes. We're paying these folks $500,000 a year to rent space in this tower. And then the day after I lost the election, that's when it was announced that Scientology bought that tower and all the remaining property downtown. So Scientology is, in some respects, the city's landlord right now. And that's not good. So when the new city hall is open up, that'll be a building that Scientology cannot buy. At least they better not be able to buy it. Anyway. Lurkers. Hello to lurkers. Miss Sunrise Dawn. I'm in North Georgia, but most of my family is in Florida. Half of them are in Tampa, Clearwater. Love that area. There's much to love. And Kelly is correct in saying, hopefully, those who live here in Clearwater are supporting Mark Bunker. And, really, if you're if you're anywhere on the planet, you should be supporting me, because I'm not just a national treasure. I'm an intergalactic treasure. It's true. It's true. I've got some fake stuff I created with AI that proves that I'm a national treasure, an intergalactic treasure. Well, there we go. Bilbo Baggins, what I love is Stephen Ridley and his crappy piano course. Handled. Well, I'm not familiar with Stephen Ridley and the piano course. I'm sorry, it's crappy. Try harder, Stephen. I think I missed some part of the conversation here. And Miss Sunrise Dawn says, my bet would be they support anybody against Scientology. They are not fans of the cult. LOL. Uh-oh. May have just outed them. I hope they're not people parking outside their homes right now, getting ready for a raid. Stephen Ridley is a Scientologist. Does he have a YouTube channel where he's teaching piano lessons? Is that great? Is that it? Roshkin says, Xenu loves you. And I hope it's me that Xenu loves, because I certainly have shown my respect over the decades. And I have started an intergalactic crusade to get Xenu released from his prison, his electronic prison. We're going to get it done too. I've got some stills from different planets throughout this sector of the galaxy, where you can see I've got enormous support out there for my free Xenu campaign. Now all we need is a theme song, and I'm working on that. Bilbo says that his piano course is a Scientology front. How about that? It's shocking to think that a Scientologist would be doing something that would be a Scientology front. Good Lord, what's happening to the ethics of Scientology? Josh Isaacson says, have you run into Dan Murnan in Clearwater yet? Not yet. I do know he's here, and he's probably about 10 blocks away from me. When one of not his relatives, but one of Paris Morphopoulos' kids was involved in stealing all my city council yard signs during the last election, I did stumble upon the fact that Dan had moved here, and he's very close by. So we just apparently, don't hang out in the same neighborhoods. Although clearly we have to hang out at Flag from time to time. I guess he's good at avoiding me. Okay, so he has a YouTube commercial where he promises to teach you piano. And Kelly thinks that Dan Murnan is watching. I hope so. Because a lot of the success of Xenu TV has been because of Dan Murnan or Murnan. If he hadn't come to my home, I never would have picked up a camera and started shooting video and create a website called Xenu TV to show that video. So I consider him one of the founders of Xenu TV. And there's no royalties, there's no commission checks on that. It's in name only, okay? Don't get excited. Miss Sunrise Dawn, Mark, you might know one of my uncles. I'll have to email you later. I will look forward to that. And Bilbo, he doesn't use the word handled a lot. That's Dan, or okay, I'm losing track. Okay, the piano lesson front guy. Ryan says, Dan always knows where you are. Well, I'm sure there's a bevy of people that are following me at all times. And, So I'm not surprised if they keep Dan in the loop here. Kelly's being nice. She's saying hi to Dan. Hi, Osa. And she reminds everybody, by the way, easiest way to support me, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. It's easy and free. Thank you, Kelly. And Bilbo says, I meant he does use the word handled a lot. Well, I'm using it a lot right now, too. I've relabeled this protest the Mad Handler picket. So we have, the Mad Picket is the one that we, have up that, we're surrounded by dozens of these OTs that are trying to disrupt the peaceful picket that was going on. This one is a smaller selection of those, but a choice selection of those handlers. And I never really named this one. So from now on, it's known as the Mad Handlers Picket. Specifically because you're going to meet one Scientologist named Tink, who we are told in the course of this video had been on the RPF for 4 years. And Jesse mentions in, I wish I could talk. It's not like my dentures are slipping because I don't have dentures. So Jesse says, see, I didn't say mention that time, so it's a little easier. Jesse says that he was forced to roll, I think it was a pencil or a peanut, down the hallway with his nose because Miscavige ordered that. And this guy does not say a word in the video, but he makes his presence known. And Kenny asks, you can run again for council? That would be amazing. Yeah, you can. You can have 2 terms on the council. I think it used to be that you can have 2 terms, sit one out, and then run again. I don't know if that's the case anymore. I think it's limited to 2. But since I only had 1 so far, I could potentially get reelected and then most likely die in office. Wouldn't that be a way to go? Don't you think? Oh, the guy devoted his life to us, and now he dropped dead in the middle of helping the people of Clearwater. The Mad Handlebar Mustache Picket. So you must be thinking of the Jerry Colonna guy. Steve liked to let me know that my name is Steve. I know Steve. You told me that. And he looks to me just like Jerry Colonna, who was the second banana on the Bob Hope show. Goblins here says, howdy, y'all. Howdy to you, too, as well. Nice to see you. Daniel Sanders asking Kelly, did you hit yourself with a wrench? Is that why? But she was explaining that she also was having trouble, trouth mumbles all day too. I like that. So we've got tonight this footage that just came out of the processing booth. Booth being my office and the computer. I don't know why I called it a booth, but it's nice and fresh, minty fresh, and you're going to see a bunch of us, including Stacy Brooks, Jesse Prince, me, and Peter and Patricia Greenway, or Patricia Greenway rather, and Peter Alexander, and a number of other folks who came to join in a picket. We're all exiting the back of the Lisa McPherson Trust as this opens. And then I follow the folks through the streets of Clearwater as we head over to the Fort Harrison. Now, I didn't add any narration to this, and we can talk over it as we're watching it here. But I thought it would probably be interesting just to see what it's like walking from the LMT past the bank building where OSA was located, and then walking the extra block to the Fort Harrison. It's a fun journey. And you can listen to all the cars honking as they go by. So let me see here. Bilbo, is there any record of L. Ron Hubbard visiting the dentist? No. The way he talks in that BBC interview, he seems like a complete knob. No offense to nose. Yeah, his teeth look terrible in the shrinking world of L. Ron Hubbard. But I was watching one of the early black and white Doctor Who's recently, and the first Doctor has teeth that are every bit as bad as Hubbard's from that same period. And this is a problem in England where apparently they don't have any dentists. Maybe there's one per county. I don't know. But it is kind of odd to see that coming, on the BBC. Let us show you these horrible teeth. Hubbard had a healthy fear of the dentist, which is why he had teeth that looked like baked beans. Good to know, Kelly. Oh, Kelly Williams. This is her first live. Have really enjoyed the interviews of ex-Scientologists. I've got 3 more that are almost finished upgrading to 4K. I've got 2 of them done, 1 more to go. And these are interviews that I did on the streets of Leipzig. And I did a horrible job. Well, we'll talk about it when you see it. But the video is all washed out. And it's just, I've been so incredibly embarrassed. I've been trying to make it look a little bit better, doing some rudimentary color correction, or even just adding some color into her appearance at all, because it's all just kind of completely washed out. And I spent the whole weekend futzing with that. So coming close to that, in the next day or two, I think you'll start to see those videos. And back to the baked beans. The way he talked and his creepy fake smile is truly frightening. I don't know. I think there's a certain charm to Hubbard. I never had a second wife. That guy could be president today. Roshkin, does Scientology blame sufferers for their ailments like some religions do? Boy, do they ever. I mean, most of those are psychosomatic, and he discovered that the root cause is you've got somebody who's PTS near you. You have to find out who's causing your problems, and then once you deal with that suppressive person, then you'll be cured. Oh, you'll still be riddled with body thetans. It's going to cost you a fortune to get rid of those. And then to somebody else, you'll be PTS to somebody else. And it just continues. As long as you've got money, it continues. Miss Sunrise Dawn took this opportunity while I'm babbling to get that email sent. I will check it out. Bilbo, has anyone ever done a body language study on that L. Ron Hubbard interview? It'd be cool to see body language experts take on Hubbard. How do we make this happen? I don't know. Do you know any body language guys or women? What more do we have to learn about Hubbard? We can see he's a pathological liar, a narcissist, and thought that he could handle the questions of a young 25-year-old journalist who just stumbled onto his boat and said, "Hey, can I do an interview?" And Hubbard was wrong. He couldn't handle that guy. So if anybody out there is a body language expert, or you know one, or you want to contact one, let's make that happen. Okay. So I remember talking a little bit about footage we're going to watch tonight. So I think we should probably get into that. And I'll be stopping periodically to fill you in on some of the people who are there at the protest. And then we've got a special treat at the end of this main video. So let's hop to it, shall we? I take you back now to, I believe it was September of 2000. We are at the back doorstep of the fabled Lisa McPherson Trust. Just like
that.
I'll really try.
Randy? Okay, peaceful resistance. That's what we're doing. If they come and punch you, you just go, help, please. Help, please.
I'll
fall
try.
down to my belief.
Okay, Jesse is very good at this. Jesse, show them what you're gonna do if they come and hit you. Jesse?
Drop, fall, and crawl. That's all. No, I'm gonna fall down.
So Randy Enerson is one of the fellows who was a supporter of the Lisa McPherson Trust, and he was the creator of the Threep. You don't see him on camera there, but he was asking about, how do we handle these people? Stacy, of course, always right. Never be physical. Call the police, who, of course, will then immediately help the Scientologists. But help police gets them there. And we've got Jesse here talking to Peter Alexander and Patricia Greenway, the folks who are about to unleash a horrible movie called The Prophet. But that is just a twinkle in their eye right now. This is 2000. The film came in 2001, as I remember.
Looking in the face of the decapitated head of some
That's way here.
And as you can see, the fellow who's closest to us right now with the white pants and I guess kind of a plaid shirt, that's Graham Barry, a noted attorney who has been taking on Scientology for decades now and doing a great job getting back money for seniors who have been ripped off. So if you know anyone who needs help, Graham Barry's the guy to go to. I wanted to say hello to Eric before we continue here. Eric says, "Hello, Mark," and all. Thank you. It's been a while. Love from Culver City, California, where the Hell Roach Studios and Sony Studios are. Yes. Yes, indeed. Beautiful, beautiful area. Well, the parts that aren't industrial. L. Ron Hubbard. He's come back from Target 2. How dare you all make fun of my teeth? I'm reporting you all to OSA. Well, good luck. I don't think they're going to listen to you anymore because they have somebody better. They have a little guy named David Miscavige. He's in control now. 49ers for Life says, "How is everyone?" I'll just wait here. How is everyone? Everybody respond. Well, I guess everyone did already. I didn't know that Graham joined in the protest. Yeah, he would often be with us, whether it was here in Clearwater. He would come down from time to time. Or I remember picketing with him numerous times in LA and out at Golden Era. Ryan met Graham Barry once in Hollywood, and he's a super nice guy. And I second that. LRH stayed in Culver City for a few months in 1976. Any particular reason he was there? FYT, yes, Tori is there. You're going to see a lot of Tori in this video. She's got a couple of handlers who will be following her around, and she takes them on with great aplomb. And why she was carrying aplomb, I don't know. I've been watching too much Marx Brothers. If that's possible.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, now. Peaceful resistance. That's our motto. Are you going to... That's his big concern.
So this is the bank building, which is now the Welcome Center. And you're going to see somebody try to get in that center later and can't. Yeah. And this is at a point when people could still drive down Cleveland Street. It was the main drag for people coming to Clearwater Beach. It was, the major way to get there. And then the city decided after we left town, they said, well, what can we do to spruce up the place now that those pesky Lisa McPherson Trust people have fled the city? They said, hey, let's build a new bridge. So they put up a new bridge a few blocks away from Cleveland Street. And as I recall, that first bridge, well, there you go. I was just looking out to get back on the screen here. So that first bridge that they built collapsed. So they had to start over and build the bridge that we have now. And you can't drive down Cleveland anymore. So that did not help business. But as you'll see, when the folks come back from the protests, the streets are empty. There's nobody shopping there. I mean, there's cars that drive by, but stores stores were still empty at that point. And not I know there was a sentence I was going to finish there, and I got a knot in my throat. When I said "not," I went, "Not what? Huh? Not something. Let me think about it for a while." But no, I don't know what it was. But it was probably the most important thing in the world. And if I just finished that sentence, could have changed mankind. Those storefronts have been empty for 20 plus years. Yeah, they have. Somebody's coming to town to actually shoot some footage here. And we'll be talking about the downtown when this person is here. Actually, there's a few people doing that. Oops, they ruined a beautiful town. That's true. FYT says, do I keep in touch with Jesse? No, I really haven't talked to Jesse since the LMT closed. I hear from Tory. I've seen reports, and I was happy to see that things were looking bleak with the cancer scare he had, but he's bounced back from that. Never forget Lisa McPherson, 30 years ago, December 5th. Yes, and there's going to be a big protest, a vigil, a memorial for her. So if you want to come to town to be part of that here in Clearwater, book your hotel rooms early, because place will be packed. It's going to be like Super Bowl time here in Clearwater. And what? Huh? Anyway, there was something I was going to mention, but I'm seeing all this conversation from Bilbo about Doctor Who and characters from The Hobbit. I remember when this is not nice. Alan F., I'm sure this was a typo. I remember when the infestation was limited just to the north side of Moss Brothers, when you could go across the causeway from 2 directions from downtown. And Kenny is correct. There hasn't been a downtown since they arrived. They pushed it all out there. There was stuff at one point. Yeah. Apparently there used to be several movie theaters downtown. I was just, reading an article the other day about that. I'd love to have a movie theater nearby. And, if David Miscavige wants me to lay off, he could do what he said he and Tom were going to do back in 2017. He promised the city that he would revitalize the downtown himself, and he and Tom would be personally building a multiplex movie theater, and a nightclub. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen any sign of it. I drive a half an hour away to an AMC to watch movies here. If there was one a couple minutes away downtown, I'd say, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Slappy. I appreciate that. Sierra, you're late, but I've been stalling till you got here. Wanted to say hi. Thanks for the great content. Well, thank you for watching the great content. Xenu hits the dance floor. It reminds me, we had, there was a plan to open up a Xenu nightclub downtown. And Peter Alexander, the writer-director of The Prophet, his main job was he had a company that created rides for like Universal and Six Flags, and also stunt shows. And he developed this whole design for Xenu's nightclub with the elaborate, I think there were volcanoes. It was just crazy. And we put that out there. There was never any intention of doing it. We just wanted to see Scientology's reaction. But, it's good to have fun. When you're going up against a deadly serious organization that wants to stop you any way they can, it's important to have some fun now and then. And speaking of ways to stop people, and Jesse, here's another thing that I started working on this weekend. I thought, well, this is going to be easy. I found all the audio for Jesse Prince's trial. And I thought, you know what I'll do? I'll clean up this audio and I'll put this online. We can listen to it. We can talk about the case. And then I thought, well, even when I cleaned up the audio, it's very difficult to hear some of it. So I said, you know what? I've got a program here that can do subtitles. Just hit the button. It goes through and says, here's your subtitles. But then you often have to go back and correct it. I spent almost the entire weekend correcting just the opening arguments of Jesse's attorney, Dennis DeFlaming. I was stunned how long it took me to listening to the fixed tape, the original tape, which had so much hiss and distortion on it, and decoding it. I got almost all of it done. But, you know, it's a 6-hour trial on audio. And that was like a 17-minute chunk, I think, his opening argument. So I'm probably not going to be presenting all of it, because there's a lot of witnesses that, you know, I'll put it all out at some point. But when I do want to do a live like this so we can listen to it and discuss it. So if you're not aware, Jesse was set up on a drug bust and had to stand trial. So if you've seen the videos that I upscaled recently, where they're talking about drug problems, and they do again in this video I'm showing you tonight, you'll see a fellow named Steve with the Jerry Colonna handlebar mustache. He's got a dead Asian pack with him, and he's going through, Jesse Prince arrested for drug, you know. And this was set up by Scientology. And it's so amazing that Dennis DeFlaming, our attorney for the LMT, hired a PI by the name of Ray Emmons, retired police lieutenant from the Clearwater Police Force, who spent 20 years, you know, investigating Scientology before he retired. So Ray Emmons tracked down this PI that was hired to befriend Jesse, and then got invited into his home and you know, there was some marijuana that they were sharing, and then that PI the next day went to the Largo Police Department and said, "Hey, this guy living at this address who's got drugs, and we got to put this guy away." And the Largo Police said, "Oh, okay, we're going to send somebody in with you, a friend of a friend, to go and visit with Jesse. And okay, you guys have to just pretend you're smoking marijuana." And they did that. And then I probably the next day, I'm not sure how long it took for it, but at 5 a.m, the police, with all their gear on and guns drawn, stormed into Jesse's home. He and his girlfriend, fiance, were in bed, and the kids were in bed. Everyone's asleep. And he was handcuffed and taken away. And the funny thing is, the entire arrest seemed to have been videotaped from across the street. Odd how somebody was there. Well, that somebody was Scientology PI, who was part of this operation. And they played that videotape to the jury, and explained that this whole thing was a setup just to ruin Jesse's reputation, because he was an expert witness in the upcoming Lisa McPherson civil trial. They need to handle him. Anyway, we'll talk more about that when I actually get more of the audio ready. Question from the Oreo Ritz. Tax season is coming up soon, in a few months. Really, that COS doesn't pay any taxes at all? No, that's not true. I mean, there's, the majority of all their stuff is tax exempt. Anything that they can claim is used for religious purposes is tax exempt. But let's say they have a woodworking building here in town, that's on the tax rolls. There's a number of things where they're not doing services, but it's a small fraction. I think it's 20 or 30% of their properties that are taxable, including the Fort Harrison Hotel. One of the deals that Scientology made with the city of Clearwater when they were going to put up the superpower building flag. The deal was all the religious stuff would go over to the flag building, and then the Fort Harrison Hotel would be completely on the tax rolls. So all the visitors who come to the Fort Harrison Hotel from all around the world and shell out a fortune, we do get bed tax from that. And I'm sure there's property tax and other things involved with it as well. Bed taxes are incredibly important in Clearwater, in the area. Those bed taxes actually pay for a lot. All the folks who come in as tourists, not just for Scientology, but all the folks coming down to the beach, that money is earmarked for some really good stuff. So a little of it is Scientology's. They should pay more. They should pay taxes on everything. They should. Will they? We have to make that happen. Stockton wants to know, what's he paying you? Would you answer that question, Mr. Mark Bunker? It's like you're channeling Dr. What's his name? Dr. Ian Shellington, Mr. Mark Bunker. Okay. Well, let's Stephen, movie theater finally opens in downtown Clearwater. Within a year, it's purchased by a mysterious conglomerate who begins showing Battlefield Earth in all 8 cinemas. I have a feeling they don't want to show that film to anyone. If the idea is we want to look good, that's not helping. If it was an all Mission Impossible all the time theater, okay, that would work. But you're not getting the folks down to the theater for Battlefield Earth, I'll tell you that. They could save one screen of those 8 for the profit. It'd be a nice double bill there, actually. All 8 screens in IMAX, and for 4 days on end, you've got a helicopter that's almost crashing. Please show me Battlefield Earth. Make it stop. Make it stop. Ryan might have already talked about this. I've talked about it in past streams. Mary DeMoss is not in Scientology anymore. She's out. She apparently was annoyed by how both sides treated her, the critics and Scientology. So I tried to convince her to go on camera and if you just said I'm out, that would have been a good way to end my movie. I thought it would be spectacular, but she wasn't willing to do that. How did Scientology handle COVID-19 during the pandemic, asks Bo94 Rock Band. Seeing that they're all about being OT and whatnot, just curious. Well, if you Google, you'll find some really good articles about it. At the beginning, there's a woman here, and I don't know the woman's name, and it's probably somebody that I've encountered now at one of the various streaming pickets that have been going on with all of Aaron's fans. But she was taking videotapes by herself of people, Sea Org members, getting off of the buses at the Superpower building. And she had footage of these buses just being packed to the gills with nobody wearing masks. So that got to the news, and that was published online for everyone to see. And this caused a huge flap for Scientology. And they also talked about, Miscavige having made an announcement that that this COVID-19, I forget what he called it, but it was essentially nonsense. And so then articles went flying around the country about how horribly Scientology was treating this. So then David Miscavige said, what? Horrible? I'm the leader in this. So then he started going all out with these cleaning teams. He had all the Scientologists in their hazmat suits going from company to company and saying, we'll come in here and we'll detoxify the place with our wacky nonsense. And, this is from the Church of Scientology. So they made a huge deal about getting that out in the press, shooting heroic video of them marching through the streets with their little equipment there. But really, they handled it poorly. I was on the council at the time, and when I saw the videos of the packed buses, and that Slappy Miscavige was not taking it seriously, I had the chief of police go over and do an inspection of the buildings. So he visited Flag and Fort Harrison and just wanted to check to see that things there were okay. And he also did a look at, he did a stop by the Sea Org birthing apartments, Hacienda Gardens. I used to live right across the street from Hacienda Gardens. And I think it freaked out Scientology that when I moved back here in 2013, I wound up right across the street with a nice view of Hacienda Gardens. It was a nice view, but then most amazing thing, and this was pointed out by the, I was renting a condo. So the head of the condo association pointed out to me that, Mark, since you moved in, they've allowed the shrubbery and bushes and things in this one area to grow over. So, the rest of it, it's maybe up to here with the fencing and the shrubs. But then you get to one spot where, oddly enough, Miscavige supposedly had an apartment where it was overgrown. And then from there, it went back to the shrubs. And I'm not, we're not even 2 minutes into this video already. And I've been yapping for 49 minutes. Oh, this looks interesting. Josh, my substitute teacher, saw me reading Battlefield Earth and sent me to my website in about 2000. I've enjoyed your content even more than I enjoyed having an excuse to stop reading Battlefield Earth. Well, yes, that is the teacher of the year. And it is incredibly nice to know that teachers are considering me part of the curriculum. And why not? Because I am an intergalactic treasure. Okay. What happened to Spencer? Spencer's still in Scientology. Alan's asking that. Spencer is one of the two handlers that followed Bob Minton and Stacy Brooks around Clearwater in '99. And at that point, they had a camera in Bob's face and I had a camera in their face. And they were saying the most horrible things that I captured on camera. And after I put that online, and they were so embarrassed that they were not allowed to speak to us ever again. And they also had to wear the uniforms instead of their civvies as they were, dressed when we first met them. Okay. So, where was I? We're looking at this footage. So we're heading across the street here, across Cleveland Street, and we're 1 block away from the Fort Harrison Hotel. And in just a couple of minutes, once we're there, the Scientologists will start arriving, and then they'll be following. There'll be one handler assigned to one protester, trying to keep them busy, trying to, I don't know what they were expecting to do. Certainly not chase us away with the nonsense that they were saying. But let's go back and see some more of this, shall we?
How can you miss Tim?
That's a monster side. Kidding.
Oh, Jeff Jacobson.
Yeah, you should come in front. Yeah, exactly.
And I forgot the guy's name. He had a Nick with WOG in it. I can't quite remember it right now, with the giant cult sign. And right there with his side to us is Jeff Jacobson, the LMT librarian. And then there are a few people that I didn't really know. Some folks who are locals, some of them I do know. But there's a few people mixed in that I cannot identify, but they're all good people. Trust me. I swear by that.
Okay, here's Graham.
Just don't get run over.
Who's that? He's down there.
Hello? Yeah. Hi, John. When did they put the foot?
So we're just going to see a little of this raw footage. Oh. I have to pause here. You can hear the parrots squawking in the trees. When the LMT opened at the very beginning of 2000, the St. Pete Times, now the Tampa Bay Times, had an editorial saying that Scientology is the 900-pound gorilla in the center of downtown, and called us the squawking parrots around the gorilla. So as we opened the building at the LMT, Bob did a little ceremony where he gave each of us a stuffed parrot, and I've got mine here somewhere. So that was always our mascot. It stayed in my office when I was on the city council. There are a few things like that that I use to decorate my office. And I think I'm the only council person ever in the history of the city. I don't know this for sure, but I have a feeling that I'm the only one who had photographs up there of reporters from the St. Pete Times / Tampa Bay Times. So I had, of course, the important people like Joe Childs, who was I think the editor on Scientology stuff later, but he was writing at one point. Tom Tobin was one of the first people that I met. He was a great writer, and the two of them, Joe Childs and Tom Tobin, did all of the Truth Rundown articles and so many great stories about Scientology. And Daniel, just have to acknowledge, gifted 5 Xenu TV memberships. Bless you. That's wonderful to see. I appreciate your support, and believe me, got to keep the lights on here. So all of those things help. Deborah O'Neill was a young reporter on the Scientology beat then. And she was the Tracy McManus of the 90s. So Joe Childs, Tom Tobin, and Tracy McManus, they had photos in a place of honor in my council member's office. Jay, good evening to you too. You're late. It's okay. We thought about waiting for you. Instead, I've just been fumfering around and killing time until you got here. So now that you're here, let's get it back into this. Daniel gifted himself a membership. Yeah, that is selfish. Okay. Hey, I know what we'll do. Let's play the video.
Okay. All right. Let's not sleep on that because I have a feeling that he's behind us. We lost money. Labor lawyer said totally illegal thing. Totally illegal.
We're back.
Well, he said it would take on this, based on the statutes, unless he's calling us in the morning, but it could take a couple of weeks. But we only have 6 days of shooting time, so we're gonna hire new people. But yeah, because we need to send a message to them,
Stacy Brooks.
that they would never be able to. Right. That was it is.
Oh, come on. I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back to the kids. We're the kids. I don't think I've seen a group of kids like this come down the street and go into the Fort Harrison before. I'm sure it happens all the time.
That they would never be able to.
Never seen it. But the kids got to view the signs. And you see the Scientology camera persons. Yes, we SPs had a bigger camcorder. That's true. the footage that we shot, we let you see. We put online. The footage that Scientology shot, that just goes to OSA. There's a different mindset when it comes to video between the critics and Scientology. Skyfire, I was never in. I heard about how it started when I was a teenager, so I always knew to stay away. And by the way, let me see if I can find that again. From Kelly, this is how it all started. And actually, it started before this. There were people who were protesting even back in the 80s. But definitely, this was an important phase, and I'm glad that I was able to be a part of it. Having the LMT open there and creating a beachhead that was, I think, a crucial step in this whole process. And Stephen, I love how that huge sign looks like one of those prize checks from the bank, and on the front it just says cult. Well, what more do you need to say? That is a terrific sign. He just surprised us with that. All right, back to the video, because I think, as you could see, Steve is about to arrive. Steve is the Jerry Colonna guy. And I had some of these short interactions with Steve and somebody else on the website or on the internet, for 25 years. But there's more footage here of conversations that had never been seen before and may never be seen now if I don't shut up and start playing the video again. Tampa Wog. Okay, I think that's it. That was Tampa Wog with the big cult sign.
Okay, well, that is good. No, still. Oh, you're coming in tonight?
So, we have more criminals here again. Yep, job market rejects, drug addicts, criminals,
Hi.
one-ones.
How you
Why don't
doing?
you guys go home again? We don't need crims here. We're back. We don't need job market rejects. What kind of a job's this, trying to unmock a church?
Can I have one?
Yeah, you can. This is, that's that guy. You can have one. Feel free.
Good, you got one.
That's one of your
Can I have one of those?
new teammates there.
Oh, good. Let's see.
One of your new teammates, a complete reject.
You handing them out?
Yeah, sure. This is the kind of people that you are in a group with. Enjoy.
Man, why are you here?
You want one?
Who is this man? The masked man, why is he here? Have you ever wondered about why he's here?
I don't have to. I can see he's a pervert. You know about this. I don't have to explain this.
Yes, keep him going. Don't let him talk. He might learn something.
You should know about this if you duplicated anything at all. You duplicated anything at all. At some point, you know why this guy's here. He's a pervert. He likes to have sex with underage boys.
Let me tell you something. I've been doing this for 20 years. Man. I know exactly
You know
what he does. I was here out on the street for 20 years. saying the
Well.
same thing? I was. I really know somebody. Oh, I see what you're doing.
There's a guy who left his wife for some woman who's destroyed his business.
Now, this is Richard Hurst chatting with, who's he chatting with here? Was it Patricia? I didn't quite catch, but we're going to see him strolling around and trying to handle a few different people in this video. I not only encountered him frequently in Clearwater, but when I went up to try to shoot a little footage of Slappy Miscavige opening up an Ideal org in Portland, he was there too, trying to handle me. Amazing. Yeah, he's with Patricia right now.
Which one's a lie? Tell me.
This is
Cult. Do you know the definition of the word cult?
Yeah.
What?
A cult is a group that really isn't for the betterment of man, but for themselves. That's a cult. That they follow one person's advice to the detriment of others.
Do I have any of those dead Asian flyers? I don't think I do. I've got one that they made about me that they distributed around my neighborhood back in mid 1999. Well, actually, it was L. Ron Hubbard's birthday when I showed up for the first time at a protest of Scientology in LA. And somebody asked a little bit earlier, I didn't put it on the screen because it went by at a time when I thought, I don't have time to answer it. But look, I'm going back and answering it. Somebody asked if they followed me home to find out where I live. Well, clearly they were following all of us to get as much intel as possible. So they did know where I lived, and they printed up a whole bunch of these neighbor beware your neighbor Mark Bunker flyers that they spread through the neighborhood, and then that afternoon showed up at my door. How about that? And Magoo is such a badass. Well, no truer words have ever been spoken.
Who's been detrimented? Have you seen detrimented?
Yeah.
Where?
Oh, a lot of people.
No, you haven't seen it. Good. That's good. You should talk to the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of my colleagues.
Well, would you be willing to talk to the victims?
These rights violated? What rights were violated?
First Amendment.
Of Lisa?
You can't talk about it now.
So she died accidentally, and you guys are just like being on your favor and to slight in her face?
That's right.
Why would you do that? Really, why would you do that? You have an accidental death of a young lady.
By the way, she's one of my favorites. She's one of the locals who would come and join us for protests and occasionally a meal. And I always found her delightful, and I still do. I forgot that guy's name in the blue shirt, but he is hateful. Are you talking maybe about Paris Morphopoulos? And Jay says, these goons are disgusting. Well, I tend to think of them as comical. I mean, it's not a good look for Scientology to have these people, out there acting like dopes.
group here made up of sexual perverts, job market rejects, people who can't get people.
So what First Amendment rights
What
were
kind of thing
violated?
you're going to put in your resume when those laws pass?
Really, what First Amendment rights? How were the First Amendment rights violated? Do you have any idea?
Hey! Try to my foot. Yeah, right.
What's
What?
your
I'm not going to tell you what my job is.
Are you
Nothing to
afraid?
do with you.
Did the cult tell you not to talk to me?
So when you were asking about the guy in the blue shirt, are you talking about this fella, the Jerry Colonna guy? His name is Steve. And then I saw that Paris Morphopoulos from the One Stop Shop also had on a blue shirt. So now you know both their names. Steve would come up to me. Hi, my name is Steve. I know Steve.
What I will tell you is your job is, you had a perfectly good business going before you had an SP take over your business for you. Hi Mark, let's try and get a bit closer.
What would happen if you actually had your own idea?
So,
What would happen?
you don't have a single idea of your own, it's all fucking reactive. Hi.
What would happen if you had your own idea?
Oh, I'm listening. Keep going. It's cool.
Did you know their mom was fine? She understood and realized it was a problem. And
That's why she supported the Lisa McPherson trust.
her mom? No, she didn't. Her aunt, who didn't know me,
Disney World, you bring him to the business.
a retired adult wife. Trying to get some money out of something that.
I don't know. It's not something worth boasting about the number of wives you've had.
Don't you get that?
Sure, it keeps spewing. It'll sink in eventually.
Hey, Mark. So you think the church actually killed her, murdered her? Is that it? Or do you think that?
Do you?
No. Do you? Do you think the church murdered Lisa McPherson?
Maybe so.
Why?
But isn't it my right to be able to voice that? Yeah, that's my First
Is
Amendment.
that true? There's no criminal charges. You know, they spent their police department.
That's what we used to play. And we used to.
I know what you didn't do the stuff right.
So is this the guy you're talking about? Is that a big enough nose? He's got a blue shirt. And I suppose it's a moderately big nose. That's Paris Morphopoulos, the owner of the One Stop Shop, the major Scientology business on Cleveland Street. Somebody asked me recently, how many Scientology businesses are down there? Virtually none. There are some Scientologists, some who are allowing a restaurant to operate in their buildings. You know, they're not interfering that way, but apparently they're not great landlords. There's one woman who had a restaurant. She was an OT. She had a vegan restaurant, I believe it was. And Scientology even screwed her over with leases and the money they were charging. So she finally closed up shop and left town. So they're even chasing their OTs away. Paris Morphopoulos, legendary in these parts.
And I said, well, I know exactly where your place is at. I'll take you there. And that's when we started walking around. And you guys decided to make a stink about it. We couldn't even walk the streets. He didn't know anything about Scientology. Which is why we walked right on through that picket and walked all around and downtown. But you chose not to listen.
I don't believe it.
Well, then fine. You want to walk with me and call me a liar? Go ahead, but I'm telling you the facts.
Do you think you're really getting better on Saturday? Independently.
No, the fact that you can't get better is you don't find it right. It's your problem. It's not too late for you to sort things out.
You know what?
Is life really that much better than this woman? I've seen her.
Well,
She's fucking rabid.
as a matter of fact,
She's rabid.
no, she's not.
You know she's rabid.
She's a great woman.
Oh yeah, right.
But you know what?
She collapsed your
has courage.
business. She completely collapsed your business. She walks in and the business just
Is that what they
disappears.
told you?
No, it's not it. You had a nice big business before. What have you got now?
got a big business.
You're wasting your time trying to unlock a religion. Look what happened to the Christians.
I mean, you know, I wasn't
People
too
try and
religious,
shit
so
on
when
them
I
and
get
look at
it,
them
they went
now.
out
You
and
can't
they
stop
get
a religion, buddy.
But you know what? It's not a religion.
Hey, Bunker. How you doing?
Steve, when's the last time you talked about Scientology?
You're an expert on religion, huh?
Yeah, I was an expert on Scientology when I was in it, but you know
Yeah,
what? It's
right.
baloney. In the
So,
final analysis,
you still haven't told me why. You still haven't.
I never said that.
You never had it.
What do you think about parents? They talk to their children. Never asked me
I
that
talk to
question.
my children.
I'm talking about people who they have to disconnect.
More than
I'm
that,
not
probably.
talking about you. I'm talking about, I want to know how you feel about parents where they can't talk to their children because they change their mind.
So Tori's talking to Hans Bashor, German journalist who claimed to have been driven out of Germany by the suppressive people like Ursula Caberta, who is making it impossible to have a job and exist in Germany, where they were mocking up their own documents to pretend that they were having problems there.
What do you think about that?
Everybody
All they did was change their mind. No, they can't. I talk to them every day.
Had you never any wins here?
I never said I didn't have wins. Of course I did. But it's not the church that it used to be. It's a whole different church now. David Miscavige, the Reich. You don't recognize it? You're a German, for Christ's sake. They're not allowing people to speak. Look on the internet. See what they want to see. That is true.
I can.
They came to my house and took the net nanny off my computer. I know what I'm saying. I worked in OSA for 20 years. I know what I'm talking about, babe. I'm not making this stuff up. And when you have
Any church with a body count that I know.
that's what they did.
I think members of other churches die.
Of natural causes.
Yeah. I think that's happened here too.
Lisa didn't die of natural
Lisa might have been
causes.
an accident. Certainly wasn't a bad thing to happen.
Stacy Moxon, man. What about Susan Meister?
Why don't you guys start
She
Why
was
don't you
shot
start
with
a
a gun.
trust?
Flynn Barnett was shot with a gun.
Right, but if you left the church, these parents
And then why were churches?
Why was the
I'm not talking
investigation
about my
shut
children.
down? What about who put their arrest?
I mean, if there's some criminal activity here, why aren't there charges?
I'm not talking about my children.
Well,
We're paying people off?
it seems someone wanted the body burned within 24 hours, so it couldn't be autopsy.
Some other one.
I just want to point out that there's a guy who just passed them and has stationed himself down toward the end of the area where we're protesting right now. Never says a word. Never says a word. Just glares at the camera. And his name is apparently Tink. And you'll find out a little bit about him from Jesse and from Stacy as they kind of pass by the camera.
So Jesse, come on back this way.
Does that mean, Jesse, that the police actually want you in Colorado?
What are you doing here? Still, this guy hasn't put enough pencils with your nose down the hall for days.
This guy's wanted in Colorado for violating probation. Another one of Minton's criminals. Now, has Minton actually set up a trust fund for you?
You know that this guy Richard Tinkerberg was on the RPF for 4 years.
Have you actually
But you know why?
have you actually had a fund set up
Hey,
for you?
listen to what I'm saying. He
How
was
much
on the
is
RPF
Minton paying you guys? I mean,
He was
this
on
is
the
just a
RPF,
total
I'll
money
tell you.
gig, right?
He was on the RPF for 4 years because he was in Treasury at ASI.
Yeah. So
He
they
knew
wanted
all the
Colorado.
criminal activities that were going on in ASI. They kept him in the RPF for 4 years until they were sure that he was going to keep his mouth shut about what he knew.
Casey, how's Vaughn doing? When the police want you, it's much So what about multiple arrested driving?
You know, I've been known to go out there.
So in other words, you approve of criminality. You getting
I
this?
learned it
Buck?
in this.
Be sure to get a picture of him.
You getting this? Jesse Prince
guy I'm talking
thinks
about.
criminality is all right.
guy at the end?
How's Vaughn doing, Stacy? How's Vaughn? Is he? Oh, really? Thanks for pointing that out. Where
You get a little bit pissed off, but it's been 10 years.
So I'm getting some footage of Tink here, and apparently Steve didn't want that to happen because every time I kind of point the camera at Tink, Steve shows up and kind of steps in front of the camera. Charming fella.
This is the guy that pushed the pencil
Life of the
down
party.
the hallway with his nose because Miscavige wanted him to do that as penance for, I don't know.
You
maybe
can
he-
believe lots of things that Jesse Prince says,
Maybe he
but you'll
didn't
be a
cough
fool.
right or something. Then he spent
You'd
4
be a
years
fool.
on the RPF. This is a person with no mind left.
Really?
Yep.
Like Jesse Prince. Like Mark
4
Bunker.
years in the RPF? Is Jesse lying about that?
As we're recording now, Jesse Prince is wanted in Colorado for violating probation. That's one. He's also been arrested for cultivation of marijuana in Clearwater. He's got multiple arrests for a variety of criminal activity, including indecent exposure. I don't have to say what that means. Contributing to the sexual delinquency of a minor.
You want some information about what's going on?
Yep. And also drunk driving. And as we're actually
And
going...
he reached like about the highest ranks of your criminal organization, didn't he?
And Mark
It was
Bunker...
fine where all of these crimes were okay when he was inside the church, but you use them
And
against
what's-
him when he leaves.
Oh, so he does have crimes, do you? Good.
Well, these are the
Mark
crimes
Bunker,
that-
arrested for criminal trespass, was enjoined by a Pinellas County judge to stay away from church properties in Clearwater. Yo, folks, you probably never see Mark Bunker because he's always busy filming everyone else. But this is the guy that's behind the camera all the time, shooting other people. Was enjoined by a Pinellas County judge to stay away from church properties in Clearwater, harasses individuals by videotaping them and placing the tape on the internet. I rest my case.
Thank you, Steve.
I have.
Bob Minton is a very cool guy.
Yeah,
I'm
he
here to
pays
tell
you.
you that.
Yeah,
All
believe
those
it.
people.
How much did
I
he
did
pay
this
you?
for 20 years. I know exactly what he's doing.
How much does Minton
I
pay
used
you?
to do this. I'd be out on the street saying the same
Sorry,
thing.
how much did Minton pay
He
you?
won't listen. Why? Because he's part
I know
of
that
OSA.
you
He
did
doesn't
something.
know how to listen anymore.
How come you?
But one of these days, he's going to join us with our sign about Scientology ruins families.
Sorry. How much does
He
Minton
doesn't
pay
care
you?
about that.
How
That's an
much
OSA line.
How much does Minton pay you?
Here's
How
an
much?
OSA line. Let's hear it.
That's a good question. How much
Okay, that's stupid. That's stupid.
It's an OSA line, babe. I'm not getting paid,
Okay.
but you don't even ask me. You don't care.
You
You just
get-
assume it.
So you don't
You
get
just
paid.
know it.
What is that Minton paid Cabrera?
What about David Miscavige saying there's 3 out of 79 tools being used and OT7?
Cabrera is really
What about 3?
destroying people.
David Miscavige said, I'm using 3 out of 79 tools. I was
Maybe-
on that level
maybe-
for 7 years. And now you have the nerve to say
maybe-
that's my overt? But
Maybe not
David
even
Miscavige
one.
said it?
I think you
But
might.
see,
you
he
might
can't
not
look
even-
at that.
Maybe you
He
might
can't
not
see
even
that.
use
He
one
can't
tool.
hear that.
Okay, that's that's.
You
a-
didn't.
that's
You haven't
pathetic.
answered it yet. It is pathetic.
Do you listen with a?
Do you
with
listen?
An earset?
When I'm ready, I'll turn them on, babe. Right now, I'm sort of in. See, now he's like, oh, jeez. You haven't answered the
That's so
3 out of
stupid.
79 tools. What was that? I was on there
Did
for
you ask
7
me
years,
to
babe.
film
You're
me?
talking to somebody who was on the
Sorry,
level.
sorry. You're
I know what I
destroying-
speak of. I wrote it up to him and said, hey, you buy a crappy car, they bring you a new car the next day. They give you a new car. Is that true or not? True or not? You buy a car, it's crappy, it falls apart. Do they bring you a new one the next day or not? Tell the truth. Right. So I spent $60,000 here.
Really?
60 at least.
Wow.
7 years of my life. And he has the goddamn nerve to come out and say, oh, she was only using 3 out of the 79 tools.
Yeah.
And for 25 grand,
Sorry.
we'll put her
probably
back
you
on the
didn't-
level.
Maybe you didn't use none of that.
It doesn't matter. He's saying I'm only using 3 out of 79, and he's going to charge me $25K to get back on and do it.
Listen,
you don't
you
see
need
a
to get a
little bit of that?
television.
Sorry.
You need to get a television and watch some commercials concerning deodorant.
What's this?
That's really
Jesse.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, it's
favorite
Mariana. I never took Mariana.
Uh-oh. She's here.
Look, she got her hair straightened. It's Mary with straight hair.
I already read the whole thing to him.
Oh, shit, there's Mary.
He's not out.
Are you complicit in the murder of Lisa McPherson?
Yeah.
Are you?
She got overs on it. That's why she's acting this way.
She went to the hospital. She was one of the people who brought Lisa back here.
Yeah, we found out that Mary DeMoss and who was, oh, for God's sakes, Lisa McPherson's boss, Benetta Slaughter. The two of them and 8 other Scientologists were the ones who showed up at Lisa's hospital room and convinced her to come back with them to the Fort Harrison Hotel. Oh, boy.
How do you know? You spent a lot of time
You know,
studying?
young lady, as you well know, you'll never get any better until you admit what you did.
This is not nice behavior.
It's First Amendment.
You're supposed to keep moving, baby.
Always
Not if you're blocking my way.
This is the only person blocking
I don't want
your
you
way.
this close.
Go, baby.
I don't you call me baby, get away.
Baby. Hey, baby. You need to move along. You need to keep moving. Chop, chop.
You almost hit me with
No, that's really the law, because
Oh,
if we turn the tape in, you'll be found standing here. You need to move along.
You know what?
Chop, chop. Chop, chop.
What about Lisa McPherson?
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Is that what you said to Lisa McPherson
Let's
when
go,
you came
chop,
to the
chop.
hospital to take her out? Come on,
Come
chop,
on.
chop, back to the Fort Harrison.
She's a little upset because she's probably gonna have
Chop,
nice
chop.
injunctions.
Chop, chop, away from the
Chop, chop.
psychiatrist.
Complicit in the murder of Lisa
Chop, chop.
McPherson.
Oh, she decided.
Hey, baby.
It's okay
Baby.
with you
See
if you
this?
murdered somebody.
See, this is
Or you were
annoying.
part of a
Hey, baby.
conspiracy to murder somebody.
You need to move along, baby.
Is it?
Let's go.
Chop, chop, Lisa. Put your clothes
Chop,
on
chop.
and run back to the Fort
Chop,
Harrison.
chop. You need to move along. Chop, chop.
Okay,
We need
you
to
need
keep
to move.
moving here.
Your orders have been given. Chop, chop. Move along. Let's go. Move out.
Did you get that? I don't know what it is.
It's a $20 check.
Oh, same old crap. I'm telling you.
Keep moving. Let's go, baby.
Mary, talk to me for a
Let's
while.
move around, baby. It's Patty. Look at her hot outfit.
What was that?
So
Tell me.
Mary, is this you practicing religious
What was
tolerance,
it?
Mary? This is religious tolerance.
Yeah,
What
I
was
know.
that?
I know.
This is,
As long as
this
they're
is
getting
like
it on
Mary
tape.
said on the television
Because we're gonna take
program,
this
you
into
know.
the judge. He's
It's
gonna
very
love that.
important, yeah. Like Mary said on the
talking.
TV show. It's very
Make
important
sure you get it all.
religious
What did she just get?
tolerance.
She stands out here with her lies and bigotry and hate mongering, and she expects
But
people
it's
to
called
lay
First
still.
Amendment.
But you're being very
Oh, that's
tolerant
funny.
here.
That's
Mary, Mary's
That's
tolerant.
Woo!
The right to
Mary
life is
is
in the First
tolerant
Amendment. I seem to remember
Woo!
that. The right to take away someone's husband is also in the First Amendment.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Pardon?
The right to take away someone's husband is also in the First Amendment.
How you doing?
Mary
That
just
guy, I
put his
don't know.
battery on me.
That's funny. You come right up to me and walk right beside me and then say, "Keep your distance, honey."
What happened, Mary? But is this an
us
example
the
of your
story.
religious tolerance?
Yeah.
Is this your religious tolerance
Yeah.
at work?
Yeah.
You know, I'm so glad that you're giving us a demonstration right here on
Stace.
camera.
So Stacy's talking about religious tolerance because, as I've mentioned in other videos in the past, this is the period where Mary DeMoss went to one of the city council meetings, and in her 3 minutes to talk about anything she wanted, she introduced herself as part of the Foundation for Religious Tolerance. FART. And she was talking about what an amazing group this is, that they're going to gather all the churches and mosques and every religion. They're all going to unite. They're going to have a choir with members from everybody and all. It's going to be the most amazing thing, bringing people together here in Clearwater. And except it was all crap, of course. It was just like everything L. Ron Hubbard came up with. We found, Jeff Jacobson, our librarian, found a letter to the editor of one of the Scientology magazines talking about her big win. And it was all about, hey, there were a bunch of suppressive people moved to my town, and I pretended to create this foundation for religious tolerance. And you know how many people were part of that foundation? One. It was me. It was just me. And then signed it with the initials MD. I wonder who can that be? Anyway, always fun to be there and see what Mary's up to. And again, if Mary would just give me a chance, we could be happy together.
So beautiful.
So we can put it on the internet.
How many more men are you going to sleep
show
with,
everybody?
Stacey?
This is religious
How
tolerance.
many more
here.
men? Social climber.
Maybe all
That's
12
how you
people
get your
that.
money flat broke, and then you find
So-
a rich man that keep you.
So are
That's
we
nice.
bull baiting now?
That's
are
nice.
we bull baiting now, Mary?
Little mistress phenomenon.
Are we supposed to be getting me
He
upset
might-
now?
he might pick him up.
You think he might pick
I
you?
think he might.
Well, with that straight hair, he really might pick you because
he
you look
might
really
pick
good.
another woman.
You look good tonight. What'd you
pick
do?
another
You
woman.
straightened it, or what
Pick
happened?
another woman.
Huh?
What would you do then?
Do you wish he'd pick you?
What do you think? You think if he gets sick to die, you might leave him too? Huh?
Say that? Say that again now? What are we talking about here? Careful now, don't run into the
You
camera.
can't stop. I'm walking.
Well, I'm stopping. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Oh, you want to stay with me?
What happened to your guy?
Oops, sorry.
You guys, you guys need to figure out what you're doing and keep moving here.
Well, you know, Mary, you need to figure out what you're doing
Say,
Move on. Oh yeah, getting that in. That's it. Woo-hoo. Higher than you are, babe. I'll tell you that. A lot higher than you.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. I can dance. I know it's something you forget about when you're in Scientology. You forget this kind of thing. But you know you can. I know it, but it's just hysterical.
How much money are you into it for now, Tori?
That's an Ocelot.
How much money are you into it for now? You hoping to get a little something out of blood money?
Wake up.
You hoping to get a little something?
You're going to find out. There's some truth in this about family.
How many crimes have you
There's
committed
actually
since
some
you
truth
How much
about
crimes have you slept?
Scientology
How many
means
crimes have
family.
you taken? How
You're
many
so
crimes
far
have you
off,
helped them?
honey.
How many crimes have you helped them solve just today?
You know, you don't.
How
You're
many,
not
Tori?
even in
Just
town.
answer.
That's not
Just
even a basic
answer the question.
Scientology
How many
question.
crimes have you helped
You're
them
not there
cover up
answering me a
today?
question, so
How
I ain't
many?
gonna talk to you.
How many crimes have you covered up today?
Oh,
How many?
millions,
Turn it on.
millions,
Via.
millions.
Be sure not to
Yeah,
confront me.
get
Turn
rid
on
of
your
you.
radio.
Except for the confront, it's a circuit. You don't know how to communicate, babe.
Oh, that's why you got a Walkman on?
I do.
That's a good
Just
via.
for people like you, because
That's a good via, Tori.
you don't know how to talk. Oh, should I start crying? Oh, please don't say that. Oh my God. Oh no. He's calling me a loser. Oh dear. I'm having a heart attack.
We can dance,
It's
Tori.
Mary DeMoss calling me a loser.
Make sure you get plenty of it, Mark. I'm going to show the judge.
You can dance.
Want
Try
to
it.
see what religious
Do
tolerance
it. Go
is.
on. Let's see it.
No, we're waiting for you,
Go
babe.
on. Go.
Waiting for your hot laces. Let's go.
You're too skinny. That's what's happening with
Let's
you,
go.
babe. Ah.
For someone who's lost as much weight as you, my dear, I wouldn't be talking about that.
I'm coming home today.
Hey, you in love with those trees again, Tor? You in love with those trees? These things got big old holes. Did you see her face? How did you dig? You gave that big look. Did you see her face?
So effective. It's unbelievable. And listen to what the town has to say.
Wow, the town that you
That's
supported
what they
for
care
self.
about. I know it, and I ain't anymore.
Well, I can see that. How many crimes did you help cover today? How many crimes do you guys help cover today? How many crimes?
Here's the science.
How many crimes did you help cover?
Scientology ruins families. Stop it.
How many
She
crimes
doesn't
did you
wanna
help
hear
cover
about
up today,
that.
Mark? How many crimes did you help carry up to cover up today? How many crimes? Can you tell us? How many you plotted to cover up today? You guys sit and figure out how to handle your crimes, your criminal organization? Huh?
You get paid by the. What's more interesting
Did you
is the
guys-
fact that you were at the hospital to bring.
Did you guys figure out how many crimes you could cover up
brought
today?
Lisa back to
Why,
the
what are you
courthouse.
doing? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get a good picture.
Well, why do you keep
moving around?
moving?
Well,
No,
because
you're
you keep
moving.
I'm trying to frame you.
Okay. See, I'm moving because in the frame, you know, if you wanted to actually get a good shot of a person, you want them, you know, over toward the right of the screen looking. You know, it's the rule of thirds, people. Come on, go to film school and learn this. But you know, she's continually trying to go around the camera to look me in the eye. And so I'm continuing to adjust to try to keep her in you know, on screen. And so this you know, this becomes fun. Somebody had a question, or where'd it go? Talk among yourselves, folks. Oh my. Okay. All right. There was something I thought I saw that I wanted to respond to. Maybe I will find that. But look, does it matter to you? Not to me. Gifted 5 Xeno TV memberships. Bless you. Good Lord, how wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Okay, this is what I was looking for, but I like this. Agree, the crime Mark is trying to cover up most is Mary continuously breaking the 180-degree rule of shot composition. Thank you. Somebody understands. That was back in like 2000. Yeah, it was actually 2000, just like 2000. All right, Mary, some more Mary.
You guys sit in that office. You guys sit in that office and figure out how many crimes to cover up. How are you going to cover up your drug addict guy? How are you going to cover up your mistress woman? How are you going to cover up your Nigerian stealing guy? How are you going to cover up your criminal trespassing charges? I mean, is that what you guys sit around and figure out how many crimes can you cover up each day?
Stacy Brooks.
Huh?
You abandoned your...
How many?
How many feet are you supposed to stay away
How
from
many,
the chair?
Mark? How many did you guys do just today? Answer that. Just today. How many? Come on, tell us how many. How many did you guys sit and figure out how do we cover this up? Your criminal organization. How many?
I like you without the curls, Mary.
How many? Bunker, how many? Can you not answer? You have strict orders, you're not allowed to speak? Where's your leader today? You getting in a little trouble? You're not allowed to speak? The guy has you like brainwashed, tells you what to do, pays your way? Is that your deal? How many crimes have you covered up just today? How many? How many? No, really, you guys sit and you figure out, how can we cover up this crime? How can we couch it in such a way it won't sound so bad? Really? How many today? How many today? How many today? Bunker, how many today? How many today? How many today? You guys help cover up Tori's drug use now? All her pot smoking with Jesse? Indicate.
Tori! Where'd Tori go? No, that one was just too funny to ignore. I'm looking for Tori.
Thank you.
How come they don't talk now? Because I had a couple of years of footage like this that went online and made them look nuts. Somebody took the video that I made from 1999 when I was on L. Ron Hubbard Way for the 4th of July. And I'm surrounded by these 3 Scientologists saying, "What are your crimes, Mark? Come on, spit them out. What are your crimes? The group is nothing but good. You're nothing but bad." Somebody took that before I got onto YouTube, and they had a bootleg copy of that video that was from another website that put a giant watermark at the bottom corner for cabinet. Okay, thanks. So it looked horrible. It had that annoying thing on it. And they called it Scientology Crazy Followers and got over 1 million views for it. That's why people call them crazy, because they look crazy in this. That's why when I eventually remastered that video and put it back up here, I said, okay, the world knows it as Scientology Crazy Followers. I'm just going to use that. Back in 2008, I was working at one of the TV stations in San Diego when I saw that cabinet version of my video. So I contacted YouTube and said, "Hey, I'm the copyright owner of that. I created that video. That's mine. You can see it now on my channel. I'd like them to take it down because the quality is so crap." And they said, "No, can't do that. We do that for a corporation, but no, not for an individual. Sorry." And now, of course, they do. Now there's a tool in YouTube that says, it automatically hunts down videos and says, "Oh, they're using yours, they're using yours, they're using yours, they're using a part of yours." And then you have the option of taking it down or putting ads on it. I'm of the mind that people should be free to share and remix and do what you want with the videos. They're out there in the wild. I do hate it, though, when something like the Scientology Crazy Followers video just looks crappy. That's not my work, except it is my work. I just want it to look good. Like in 4K, for God's sakes.
Tori, Mary DeMoss needs a quote from you about your drug use. She says that you've been sitting around doing drugs night and day.
She's a liar.
Well,
I haven't done any drugs since 1969. I did do drugs in 1968. I did.
And what got you off drugs?
Scientology. It did.
Well, you must be a bigot to say something like that.
No, I'm not. I had very nice wins on it for 20 years. And for the last 10, it's been horrible. David Miscavige came on and lied to us and sold us something that isn't true. And then at the end said, "Hey, sorry, we're only giving you 379 tools. Shucks, for $25,000, you can get right back on." And you know what? Somehow that rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know about the rest of the people on here, but that rubbed me the wrong way. And old Davey just kept doing it. I was out here like these OSA people. I used to do this. I used to be right here. Yeah, don't waste your whole life, man. I did, a lot of it. Don't waste your whole life. This ain't it. It ain't it. I'm telling you.
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
They assault one guy and they bring out more cameras.
Let him get back under this stone.
Yeah. Like this guy here was on the RPF for 4 years.
Let him get back under this stone.
Wow.
Your data was great, Mark. You're awesome.
They get all this unverified data and then think
Hey,
they
Mark,
have the
lose
truth.
weight.
So how long were you on the RPF?
Lose weight, Mark.
Let me go right to the source and find out how long you were on the RPF.
Hey, Mark, lose weight.
I'm not going to talk.
Do yourself a favor.
I did. Is he contacting me to congratulate me?
What?
Why can't he communicate?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him?
I tried.
Robotically with a camera on your shoulder, making an ass out of yourself. That's your bag. How's your movie going, by the way? Trouble Free? The one you're making up in Tampa.
Well, I'm involved in a movie.
Hey, Steve.
He's talking about The Prophet, which was in production at the time. And Scientology found out about it the first time that the film had to go on location. While they were in a studio shooting interior scenes, Scientology wasn't quite sure what was going on with The Prophet. But once they got to see the big crowd of extras and the L. Ron Hubbard clone waving his Dynetics type of book around, then they knew, and then they scrambled to try to follow everyone on the film crew and intimidate everybody. And we'll talk about that some other time when we talk about The Prophet some more. Why can't you communicate? That's a joke. And I think he said something about, I put up the video and I look like a jerk. I look like a jerk? Okay.
Well, you're representing.
Oh, I love this.
This will be very good.
So we got all the Sea Org and all the staff here having to cross the street.
So I think this is to make us individual.
To their credit, they do. They don't run the other way.
2 subpoenas and 1 picket.
You got 2? Me too.
Serious? Yep.
2 mints in 1.
2 subpoenas.
Oh, and here's Tink trying to get into what is now the Welcome Center. And he's having as much trouble back here in 2000 than as I do right now in 2025. I can't get through those doors either.
Go back to your cave, bunker. Get it?
These people aren't very supportive of Scientology out here, honking.
That's the same car driven by 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. I think out of all the cars that went by, that was about 3%.
So you think 3% disfavor of Scientology is acceptable level here?
By the way, when he mentioned it's the same car going by 5 times, they did a protest outside the LMT, Lisa McPherson Trust. And I have video of that when they were protesting us. They actually did have one Scientologist in a car who did circle the block to honk. Those were the only honks they got. It was amazing to see the same car going by. And then they could say, oh, we're successful. Good Lord. Good Lord. It's like you can't trust Scientology to tell the truth. What kind of game are they playing, for God's sakes? It's all a game. All this world. It's just a game. We created these meat bodies to make the game more interesting. Don't you know?
Yeah, we saw it.
The same car driven by 5 times.
I can't hear you. All that stuff about making comments on our clothes and things like
What do you want?
What do I want?
What do you want?
Read my signs.
What do
I
you
told
want?
you.
Take
I want them to stop.
What do you want?
Okay, now listen to me. Will you listen or not?
Go ahead.
I've done the social trip for years, so listen to me.
Go ahead.
I don't do that stuff when I'm out here as OSA. When I was OSA,
Hey,
I
guys.
listened to people.
The police say you're meant to
That's
keep
a
walking, so
basic
get out of
Scientology
here.
tool to listen, right? Keep going. I don't have to keep going.
Are you on drugs?
You and I are talking.
Are you on drugs?
No. Why would you say I'm on drugs?
Have you ever taken any drugs?
No.
Well, they would explain your behavior.
All right, so
Woman who says
why are
Scientology
what
cured
about
her
the
drug
family?
use. You attack for using drugs.
What about the families where they can't talk to their children? What? What about it? I'm not a joke, man. This is why people have more enemies. Do you know that there are tons of people against the church now who have nothing to do with Scientology because of people like you who won't apply the basic tenets of Scientology, just like you're doing.
Well, I
right
don't
now.
need pay for exercising my constitutional right to express
I
my
know you
moral
don't need it,
moral
but you
principles.
do get it.
You better believe it, and you're not.
But you're all in high hands, which really makes it a very powerful statement about your convictions.
Oh, no.
Isn't that right?
No.
Powerful statement.
No.
Graham, be careful about these money issues because he's trying to red you.
Oh, yes?
The real problem with you guys is that you don't really have any personal convictions other than the ones that are based on evil purposes.
And this is
You
based
especially.
on, this is based
You
on
especially,
in-depth
because you know what I mean.
discussions
At
with
least
us.
we don't
You
have
know
any
what I
criminal
mean.
convictions.
Not like you guys.
There you go. I know. You've been misinformed.
Almost. Almost.
You've been misinformed yet again.
I'm out of here.
You're buying into Ocean's lies.
Well, that is the end of it. My, oh my, oh my. Hope you enjoyed that. Just a little more on tap here. Got something else for you. For all those folks who stuck around this entire time. Something a little special. Jeff Scott just got here from New Zealand. Welcome to you. Oh, you're coming in at the right moment. Somebody was asking about the blonde. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, though. Probably not Tori. I think the world knows Tori. There was an older blonde with like a leopard or some sort of animal print. That was Patricia Greenway, producer of the Prophet. Wow, so much to absorb. So good. I'm glad you like it. One Love's 51,000. We've got much to absorb and plenty of time to absorb it. For God's sakes, take your time. Just imagine the mustache carrying a sign while he bull baits it. Okay, so let's blonde lady with the headphones on. That was Tori Chrisman. She was in for 30 years and then left Scientology in 2001, I think. 2000? I can't remember now. But she left Scientology, was one of the first to come to the Lisa McPherson Trust for help. When will I have Tori on again? You have to coax her. She's shy. I almost called her up about this, but she wants to do a reciprocal thing. So she's on my channel, then I go on her channel, but she's not asking me on her channel. So I feel guilty saying, well, come on with me again. But Bunky Magoo will return. Listen, we saw the footage of Mary circling me in this raw footage. As I was shooting that, I was thinking, I think there's something I can do with this. And that something goes a little like this.
Did you help cover today? How many crimes do you guys help cover today? How many crimes? How many crimes did you help cover?
Scientology ruins families. Stop it.
How many
She
crimes
doesn't
did you
wanna
help
hear
cover
about
today,
that.
Mark? How many crimes did you help carry up to cover up today? How many crimes? Can you tell us? How many you plotted to cover up today? You guys sit and figure out how to handle your crimes, your criminal organization? Huh?
Get paid by the foot. More interesting
Did you guys?
the fact that you were at the hospital.
Did you guys figure out how many crimes you could cover up today? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get a good picture.
Well, why do you keep moving? No, you're moving.
I'm trying to frame you, but
You guys sit in that office. You guys sit in that office and figure out how many crimes to cover up. How are you going to cover up your drug addict guy? How are you going to cover up your mistress woman? How are you going to cover up your Nigerian stealing guy? How are you going to cover up your criminal trespassing charges?
you thinking of cover-ups when you brought?
Is that what you guys sit around and figure out how many crimes can you cover up each day?
Stacy put.
Huh?
You abandoned your.
How many?
How many feet are you supposed to stay away
How
from
many
the chair?
How many did you guys do just today? Answer that. Just today. How many? Come on, Ann. How many? How many did you guys figure? How do we cover this up? Your criminal organization. How many?
I like you without the curls, Mary.
How many? Bunker, how many? Can you not answer? You have strict orders, you're not allowed to speak? Where's your leader today? You get in a little trouble? You're not allowed to speak? The guy has you like brainwashed, tells you what to do, pays your way? Is that your deal? How many crimes have you covered up just today? How many? How many? No, really, you guys sit and you figure out, how can we cover up this crime? How can we couch it in such a way it won't sound so bad? Really? How many today? How many today? How many today? Bunker, how many today? How many today? How many today? You guys help cover up Tori's drug use now? All her pot smoking with Jesse?
Dory! No, that one was just too funny to ignore. I'm looking for Tori.
Thank you. I like the little thank you at the end from the guy at the door. Yes, that was the Mary Damasco round. Very, very popular video, now in 4K. Unfortunately, I could not find the original recording of the song. This is close. You know, I think it works. But the I thought was a gem. Reminds you of a carousel? Well, there's a reason for that. It's the Mary Damasco round. That was perfection, says One Love 51,000. Thank you. I appreciate that. Look at her eyes. She's psycho. Come on. That's rude. The woman was in a cult, for God's sakes. She's told to go inside by her cult, and the other guy was to block you from seeing her do as her cult told her to do. Well, Mary was kind of in charge of these protests, so she kind of gave the commands of when people had to leave. So I think she was, just done. I mean, how many more times can you say, just today? How many? Just today. Come on, Mark. How many? Cause to celebrate. My dog's birthday is the same as LRH's. Huh. How about that? Recent sightings of Mary. She's in last I know, she was in Boulder, Colorado. I don't have any updates on her. What the heck? I got some program opening up here. Close that damn program. It's blocking the screen. There we go. Anyone else have freezing video? I hope it's playing okay. This technology today. Video is frozen. Oh, well, I wonder if it's because that program just kind of opened up. The captions are coming up fine, but Mark is frozen. Oh, my Lord. So can you hear me? Do 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 do. Boom boom. I'm back. How about that? How about that? And for the person craving a little Bunky and Magoo, well, I got you covered. Let's take a little listen.
He was a fighter, calling them out. She was inside, lost in the doubt. But life's funny, it can twist and turn. Now they're a team, and the world can learn. Bunky and Magoo, the dynamic two, giving a voice to what's real and true. A tale of hope, and what we can do if we all had a little Bunky and Magoo. She had the stories, he had the fight. Now they're shining a big bright light. From OT3 to Target 2, they're telling it all. Bunky and Magoo. Bunky's got the questions, Magoo's got the past. No sec checking needed, we will pass. The needles are floating for those two. The perfect team, Bunky and Magoo. True, speaking the truth for me and you. No disconnection or fair game too. They're shutting it down, Bunky and Magoo. She saw it all, but now she's free. He called out fraud in Scientology. Working together, see what they can do. It's showtime now with Bunky and Magoo.
Hey, do I ever join the protests here in Clearwater? Every once in a while, I'll pop in. They're going on all the time. If I drive by and I see them there, I stop in and say hello. I don't have a lot of free time, you know. Being old, you're busy constantly getting up and going to the bathroom and coming back to the couch. So really, when do I have time to go out and protest? That was a great spot. You know, I'm glad that people like this song. I think it is a sweet, sweet song. It always amuses me. And as far as the kids' book, that's not a bad idea. This week, watch as Bunky and Magoo track Bigfoot and confirm he is using the same strategies as the COB to avoid subpoenas. Oh, that chairman, you know what drives me nuts in City Hall? Because Scientology calls Slappy the chairman, I would get updates like, the chairman is not in town right now. No, you're the city manager. You don't have to call him the chairman. And it was not paying fealty to him. What's this? So true, Mark. Being old takes a lot of my time too. Oops. This is what I was going for. Love, Maddie, you're fuzzy, and I don't mean your beard. That bad of a connection, huh? You know, when it comes to having a computer just for streaming, actually what this one is, this is what this one is essentially. It's a laptop, unfortunately, and not hooked into the Ethernet. It seems like most of the times it does a decent job, but as Hank is saying right now, keep Xenu TV working and hit that like button, folks. KXW, keeping Xenu TV working. These older videos remind me of Miami Vice. Am I Crockett or Tubbs? Well, I guess I would be Tubbs, especially in those days. Was that their names? I never watched it. Yeah, I'm a guy who never saw. I never saw a full episode. I think I've seen a few minutes of Miami Vice, but I did see the lousy movie. Frozen again. Uh-oh, Frozen. Well, I tell you what, I think it's time to go then. We spent 2 hours on, I think, about 35 minutes worth of footage. so let's call it a night. Somebody's phoning me. How about that? I may suggest reducing your broadcast quality to 720 next time. I see I can go as high as 1080 right now. Okay. This is usually a problem? Or is it particularly bad tonight? Well, I'll find out. I'll see what I can do. And maybe I can run an Ethernet cord over and see if that helps. Anyway, I had fun. I hope you did too. And we'll get Bunky. We'll get Bunky here. We'll get Magoo to come back on the show. It'll be fun. You need to add something after. Never mind. All right. I want to thank you all for showing up tonight. It was a great time. Your overlays in the Bunky and Magoo are clear. Just your camera is blocky and freezing. Well, it's a crappy camera. I do what I can, folks. Next time you'll see me, it'll be a hologram. It'll be so perfect. You won't believe it. Good Lord. Until then, have a nice night. And I'm blasting off to the rest of this sector of the galaxy to do a live shot. Bye.
What are your crimes, Mark? Yes, what are your crimes, Mark? Your crimes are hidden, they should be seen. Spin all out, Mark, and just come clean.